everybody. Welcome to the Cave Trolls podcast. Today I have with me Jordan. He was getting ready to say something and interrupt me. This is audio too. You have to say something.
I just smiled at the camera. They didn't hear that?
And we have Dave.
Hi, and you also didn't introduce yourself either.
I will at the end, you dumbass. You're ruining the introduction.
I do what I want. No regrets.
And we have Amy.
Yo.
Let's just start over.
And I'm your faithful host, Terry Smith. And today we're going to talk about whatever the fuck we want because we're the Cave Trolls.
No one told us not to, so why not, right?
So recently, we were signing a contract with local radio. What's the word for what I'm looking for?
Host?
Station? Radio station. That can't be
Collective.
Right. That can't be right. That can't be right.
Guys in a basement.
The radio cult. With the radio station. And they asked me, they said, what do you guys talk about on your show? Like, they're still for all of it. And I'm like, well.
What's your genre?
It's kind of a big question. And I gave them a sample. We haven't heard back from them yet.
We snowball down the mountain of bullshit, and that's how it happens.
I was asked by our friend Word. He's on the board for the radio station, and he also is their engineer. And he said, "Would you be offended if we had to bleep, some of the words you use or anything?" I'm like, of course not. We're very explicit. And he goes, "Would you be against if I used animal noises instead of bleeps?" I'm like, well, that depends on the animal, honestly. If it's cat noises, I'm on. But I want to hear it goat every 30 seconds, I'm out.
No, that'd be
How much
great.
of the
Just the goat
sentences are
screaming.
left without the swearing? Not a lot. How much content do you lose?
Not a whole fucking lot.
How legible is it? Yeah.
The only thing that's he said we'll have to edit like the swear words out. I was like, but you can't edit the tone or the content. We still talk about some stupid shit.
You can't make us smarter though.
you cannot make us smarter. I'm gonna need you to move up on your mic. You're yeah.
Oh, I know.
You have to sit like that the entire show.
This sounds awful. This is my nightmare.
better.
I
I'm
gave
there,
you a
but-
30-minute lecture. I was
It's
like,
a
you need to sit
huge
closer to
train
the
wreck.
table. You have to get closer, and you're like,
no.
I'm like,
No.
you can hold the mic. And you're like, nah, I'm
No,
not gonna do that.
no,
either.
I'm not gonna. I don't hold things. It's one of my
That's
things.
a good thing because this goes on the internet, so there's gonna be a lot of people photoshopping it into a phallic
and
object in your face.
I mean,
Or if they didn't think about that beforehand, you just gave them that idea.
I'm so glad
I
you
need
brought
two
that
right
up.
aren't we usually the ones who do that anyways?
Put a couple bags of
You're
chips
those
in his
people.
hand.
Is that conflict of interest? It's your picture and you're photoshopping it.
One of my favorite gifs that's going around the internet right now is the guys from Kind of Funny, and at one point they were doing the fake dick sucking, and the people are using it as like a celebration.
Opposite photoshopping. Making something explicit, not explicit.
With the Yub Nub track app behind
I
it.
was actually I follow at Casually a Gaming. She's a really awesome Twitch personality. Is that the word? Twitch personality.
Host?
Twitcher, streamer. She's
She's a Twitcher.
she's a Twitcher. She twitches.
Oh no.
And she was like, it's Friday, time to pretend like we're sucking dicks. I gotta stop
Sure.
like following like tweets and stuff when I'm at work because I just laugh so loud that everyone thinks I'm insane because I have little tiny earbuds in or I have my headset, but usually it's just my little earbuds or the thing that we use to talk on the phone.
Sure.
So they all just think I'm insane.
Oh yeah.
They have no idea what I'm laughing at. It's
Because
just,
you have no self-control.
Is that a bad thing though?
oh no one talks to me. I love it. I work in a dungeon. Like, there's 45 screens and no people. It's the future. I'm in the Matrix every
That
day.
sounds horrifying.
No, it's
Sounds
awesome.
pretty great, yeah.
Nobody wants to work there, so we have to my team rotates for the different buildings, and everyone's always like, I don't want to work in the dungeon. Do you want to switch? Hell yeah, I want to switch.
I'm a cave troll. Of course I work in the dungeon.
When they were rating our station IDs for the show, Dward, the engineer, he was like, so what do you guys want to do for the station ID? I was like, we'll just say we're the Cave Trolls, and he's like, what if we say something about you being not underground for once? I'm like, that is genius.
Genius.
Yeah, broadcasting from above ground finally, and that's our station ID. I'm like, that is fucking awesome.
If we could have got them to get their call letters to be TROL, that would have been amazing.
You can't. It doesn't have to have a W or a Y in it. Isn't that the whole thing?
I have no idea.
Or
that
K?
a
No, it's a
thing?
W or a K. That's what it is.
Odd.
Radio. Welcome to Radio Talk with the Cave Trolls.
Yes, quite. Indubitably.
So the one thing
No.
I did want to talk about with you guys is what we've been reading lately, since we have Amy, the resident reader. I don't know.
That sounds pretty
We have a picture that we're gonna post that you'll see, and if you're listening to the audio podcast, I'll put it in the description, just a link. And she calls us into her room. She goes, "Guys, want to see all my books?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want to see what you got." And it's just a mound, just a literal mound.
Well, I'm rearranging my room, and so I moved them, so I need to re-alphabetize them, so they're not on the shelf.
So they're just
Yeah.
On the floor?
Yeah,
There's-
so there's no control. It's anarchy.
Did you have friends in high school?
No.
Okay,
no.
that makes
I
sense.
had one.
That makes more sense.
Shout out to Jillian.
Does she listen to our show?
No.
Man,
Was she this one?
No.
That's weird because in high school I didn't have friends or books.
Oh, that's super sad.
You're like, I want to read more. I was like, that's good. Like,
Cool.
a little late
Yeah.
to the game, but it's good. It's a good idea.
I think we were all a little bit late to the game.
I mean, I
In
didn't really
everything?
start reading heavily until I was like 14. So, but yeah, but you know,
No, this is what I did from
Dave,
when I was
Dave
like,
just now
little.
turned 14.
Yeah.
Discuss this. He's a 14-year-old girl.
Obviously.
I still haven't filled out yet.
Well, I mean, you're 14. Like,
Give it time. You're gonna be beautiful
we'll
someday.
get you a training bra.
Can't wait till I get to be a beautiful flower.
If you keep talking about your beautiful flower, no one's ever going to take it.
Oh god damn it.
Stop calling your flower.
Friends references all day.
Oh god.
That's New Girl.
No, that was,
Oh,
that was
what
friends.
was it?
That was Monica
What
and
did she
Rachel.
call it in New Girl?
I don't know. Her gumbo pot.
Oh.
No, that's a whole different episode.
You have to come to the mic. This is a podcast. We are trying to
can't
record
do
this.
I
Don't
can't
ever
do
say
it.
that again.
Gumbo pot? So Dave requested I never say gumbo pot again. So for the record, I will not be saying gumbo pot anymore.
In reference to vaginas. You can say it any other way.
It's
just,
the whole kit and
oh.
caboodle. It's
Vagina
not just a
gumbo pot.
vagina. It's like the whole mess of
The
it.
whole thing.
The whole,
Oh man.
the whole mess.
Can I just comment that you just called your vagina a mess?
Not mine. All vaginas.
All vaginas are
the
messes?
time. I'm a man. I'm a feminist. I just can't control myself.
All vaginas are messes. Amy Merriman.
Like I said, it's not just vaginas. It's the whole. It's a very complicated plumbing system. Like it by nature. I can't.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
It's almost like the human body wasn't made with connects.
So
Wow.
books.
You saying that would have been better?
I mean,
No, I'm saying that it's more complicated. You said it's really complicated. I'm like, yes, I know, it's a human.
my body's
That's
built
my
like
point.
my body's built like when you get Legos and Mega Blocks together, they just don't fit.
Yeah, exactly.
It,
It's
it
like
just all falls apart.
we're not 100%. It's thousands of years of creationism or hundreds of thousands of years of evolution. One of the two. Either way, very complicated stuff.
Gross.
Religion or
All of it.
all of it.
It's all gross.
Mom and Dad, I still will be going to church with you in the morning.
I think we bring a very diverse, a very diverse sort of conversation here.
I think we do.
Other than the fact that we're all white people from the Midwest.
Mm-hmm. I am
Thumbs
white.
up.
Represent.
I don't think anyone doubted that. I don't think anyone was
There's
in
no,
debate.
there's no reason to doubt it.
God damn.
See these lights like reflecting off of our skin.
It's so like clear.
I know. You have very translucent
I
skin.
was gonna say we're not quite as opaque as we used to be.
Because you moved into a basement.
Hey, look, all right, this is the only place we're moving above ground actually
That
in the
sounds
next couple of
horrible.
weeks.
Moving on up.
Yeah, to my garage.
I was gonna say there's still concrete, a lot of concrete in there.
There is.
The walls
there's
are
some-
yellow, though. I painted them.
And then you never went out there
I
again.
never went out there again.
I'm like, this is gonna be our cool hangout spot. We put out a ping pong table,
Yeah.
a pool table, couches,
I mean-
TV.
Yep.
Never went out there again.
Nope.
Hey
Part
guys,
of the
look at
carpet
how much.
and the concrete floor is black now too.
Yeah,
Parts
how'd
of
that
it.
happen? And everything's covered with sawdust.
I have no comment on either of those.
Good, because no
You'll
one
have to
can
talk
hear
to my
you.
manager.
Come in, talk on the mic.
Is this close enough?
Yeah, that's good.
Ugh.
See how close we get? See how we talk on it? See, listeners, can't you hear me?
See how good we sound?
Everyone, come see how good we look.
No,
On
but
YouTube.
You are a woodworker, so I understand
That's
you
true.
like needing to use the space. What are you gonna do now that we're moving into the garage?
Nothing. I'm going to quit my whole business. Everyone, I have a bunch of business cards that are now be using for kindling.
Oh, perfect.
So-
Also, if you do, I'll do an early plug for Barefoot Studios.
Oh, shop and studio.
Barefoot Shopping Studio.
Shop and studio. I'm thinking of changing the name.
You can't you can't change it when I'm plugging it.
My dad wants to change it to the room where it happens because I made him live in Hamilton.
That sounds really dirty.
I know that immediately afterwards he's like, that sounds kind of like a brothel now.
Exactly. For a business that you run with your father,
Yeah.
probably not the best
All
name.
he said
Starring
was-
Ted Mosby. Architect.
We're doing a lot of sitcom references today.
No.
What was it?
topical.
Sex Pilot.
Sex pilot. And then what's-
Sex architect.
Sex
Sex
architect.
architect.
Played by
Chad
Farva, wasn't
Hardwick.
it?
Yeah.
Was it Farva?
No,
No, I thought it was Farva from Super,
Super
Troopers.
Troopers.
I don't think so.
No, we'll look it up. We'll look it up.
I can't picture
Here,
it
look
right
it up.
now. I'm not using that.
My Android phone.
No, said it's an Android.
It's not an Android.
$24.
Get an iPhone,
so
Terry.
fun.
Dollar General.
Ooh,
AT&T.
nice.
I'm not getting an iPhone. Fuck you.
Yeah, who wants an iPhone?
I would love an iPhone. If somebody wants to send me an iPhone, I'll
I know.
use it.
During the whole thing, I was like, will they buy me an iPhone?
Watching Kind of Funny, and they keep yelling at their, at their cameraman Kevin, just telling him to get an iPhone, and I'm like, I get an iPhone. Someone's offering me. I'm not gonna fight them.
Yeah,
Hell yeah,
sure.
Buy me a phone. Then again, I'm of no use to anybody, so no one's buying me anything.
I almost just Googled sex architect and just that.
Oh boy.
I don't know the name of that episode.
Oh boy.
Either.
I'm not that guy, I think is the name of that.
I mean, if you could
Oh,
just probably type
yeah.
in Ted Mosby, sex architect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would do it.
I typed it.
I
Gotta
gotta
get the job
bit
done.
more of a
I
frame
want
of
to show up on
reference.
some government list so they have to look through my search history and just go,
Oh,
oh
man.
God. And like those people quit and they have PTSD.
What a train wreck. Unraveled the whole department.
He looked up a lot of stuff about goats and not the good stuff.
Not the good goat stuff.
What does that mean? So yeah, like I was saying, you have a mountain of fucking books in your room.
I do.
Why? You claim to have read half of them.
Yeah.
That still counts for about like 400 books.
That seems about right.
They just sit on your
Again,
floor.
no friends.
And they're all 14-year-old girl books.
no,
Right.
about half of them, and I bought
haven't
them when I
happened
was
in, so-
14.
Yeah. So let's start with this one. Tamora Pierce, Lioness Rampant.
That's the fourth book in a series. You're starting entirely out of order.
Song of the Lioness. Let me just give you a brief snippet. We'll read the back cover here. At last, Alana of Traban has become the first female knight errant of Tortal. I'm not going any further. Does this resonate
I like
with
that
you?
series a lot.
Oh, did you? Is it good?
I did.
Is
It's
it good?
good.
Was it good because you read it when you were 12?
No,
or
it's
is it
good for the age range. It's
Oh, okay.
not, but it's not dumbed down. It's just for a very specific audience.
Yeah, no, and I like
Yeah.
picking on you about it, but it's just you have all.
I
these,
actually do really like that
You
one.
have all these tween books. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like YA, but like old YA. I'm like, what the?
The problem is that I'm a hoarder, so
The reason
don't
why I
get
bring
rid
this
of
up
any of
is
them.
how angsty were you?
oh my god, so angsty.
Let's next
That's
piece of
the-
evidence: the Taming of the Shrew. If you know
It's
anything
just
about
about a
teen
real
angst,
bitch who doesn't want anyone to talk to her ever.
this is it.
It's a great
A
book.
little bit sexist.
It is
though.
good.
A little bit sexist.
a little bit sexist.
but still,
Honestly, if I stopped
pretty sure
reading
Shakespeare
things,
fucked dudes too. So
yeah, obviously,
Actually,
clearly.
that's probably. I'm not gonna get into the intricacies of it, but like,
No.
is that partly sexist on his part?
What? Which part of it? It's fucking dudes? I don't think that's sexist. I think that's just sex.
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
We're gonna fuck later.
Are you Shakespeare or am I?
We can both be Shakespeare tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
Feel bad for Shakespeare.
I
this
need
is
to rethink
legacy.
my life.
Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? These guys.
Get some puffy collars up in this shit.
I'll be the
Oh.
shrew.
I'll be the sex architect.
I'll
we
be
could
the
make it
shrew.
out of Grayson's dog collar.
Well, this got off the rails real quick. And this is our sober one. Okay, so this one's called What the Fuck? WTF by Peter Larangis.
I haven't actually
Larangis?
read that one.
Oh, so
So-
no teen angst.
I mean, it probably is in that
Is
book,
that a
but I don't
syringe
know
on the
about
back
it.
of it?
I think it is.
Oh, it most
I re-
definitely is. This is where I grabbed it.
I have about
Okay.
10 books about like suicide and drug use, and that's the only one I haven't read.
How many books do you have?
They're not like guides, but they are about that.
How many books do you have that
A
have
how-to.
pills and lips on the
It's a
cover?
Oh my
reverse
god.
survival guide.
Well, maybe like 20.
As you say, that's the most
Which,
teen angst.
okay, for how many books I have is not that many.
Let's see.
but
Okay, so let me
just-
give you a snippet of this one.
Uh,
So one plan, 2 parties, 6 players. Jimmy the driver, Cam the connect, Byron the know-it-all, Waits the supplier, Raina the conscience, MC the crasher. One Friday night, I can't go any
You
further.
just picked all the books that you wanted to make fun of me about. I have lots
Exactly.
of good books.
I brought those 2.
You brought no. That's the same series.
Oh
Well, it's a
no, I'm
connected series.
reading this one. I like this
No.
one. Wolf Speaker by the author of Wild Magic.
This, if you can imagine me as a tween with just one of those shirts that just has just a wolf on it, like no other words.
Tamara Pierce, The Immortals. I'm not going to make fun of these actually because I've never written a book.
They, yeah,
Well, okay,
fuck
that's not
you,
true.
Terry.
I've never published a book. I've written books. No one wants them. She at least got us published, and I'm sure this actually is good. I just
It
think
is good.
It just represents the tweenness that I want to make
It
fun of you
is.
for.
Yeah, sure.
Like
sure.
this is all about a girl who talks to wolves
Yep.
and also has the power of wild magic.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yep. I have read those several times.
How many how do I put this? How
Oh.
many half black shades of lipstick would you get it out of 5?
You're such an asshole. 3. No, that's 3 for that one, 4 for the other series. I didn't wear black lipstick because I didn't know how to use makeup at all because I had no female friends other than Jillian, who tried but with not much success.
If you're gonna keep mentioning her on the show, she better fucking listen.
She's not gonna listen.
We need one more audience member so we can bring it up to
One more.
2.
That'd be
sounds
great.
like a lot
That-
of
I am
work
just kidding.
for one audience.
I know lots of people listen to this, and when I say lots, I mean several, and I really appreciate
I mean,
it.
more than 2.
I was describing like how many listeners and viewers we have to my sister, and I was like reading off all the like videos we have,
Like
and
our
she-
analytics and stuff.
Exactly. She's like, oh, so like some listeners.
Those are multiple
Are
people.
you talking about your 13-year-old sister?
No.
Okay. I was gonna say, are we being mocked by a 13-year-old right now?
No, she's.
I mean,
14
would it
on
really be
Monday.
that hard?
But no, this is my 20-year-old.
We should give her the wolf speaker.
That's the second book in a series. You're doing these all out of order.
I don't think it matters.
I think
I'm
she
gonna
would
write
love
you a very strongly worded letter.
I'm sure Tamora Pierce's too.
Yeah, probably.
Sounds like a lot of work to write something
one of
that
my
Terry's
favorite authors.
probably not gonna read.
I'm definitely not
True.
gonna read it. The last book I read though was Planetfall.
What's over here?
Sarah Newman.
Do
Is
you
that her
want me to
name?
grab
Paula
it, or
Newman.
do you want
Yeah,
me
grab
to-
it. I want to see it.
Move Red Ranger.
Move the Red Ranger.
Put him down here.
Green Ranger.
He's got to overcome that obstacle.
Sorry, Emma Newman. I apologize, Emma Newman. This book is good. I would also recommend it to a 14-year-old. No, it's not written for 14-year-olds, but I think it'd be good. It's like 2001 meets like Lost. It's really it's solid. It's about a colonization of a planet that's like right outside of our solar system. They go there. There's a monolith. Like it's
Dun, dun, dun.
yeah. And then it turns out there may or may not have been people on the planet when they landed, but
Ooh.
Wait,
there's
you
not
told me about
anymore.
that one.
Like yeah, it's
Ooh.
really really good. It's very psychological. I love it. I read it right after The Martian, which is also good. You should read that. You brought down some books to prove that you also read.
I
adult
didn't bring
books.
those down to prove that. I
Oh,
just
you
also
did.
you said I guess take these ones.
We'll go with J.K. Rowling, The Casual Vacancy. This is the first book she wrote outside of the Harry Potter
Yes,
series, right?
correct. Well, and out of the Harry Potter universe too, because she published several, like Fantastic Beasts where we find them, Quidditch.
I thought she
throughout the
just
ages.
wrote that.
No, that's.
Oh,
No, she
oh.
republished them as the
Oh,
whole
that's right. That
Hogwarts
was like a
library.
picture book, right? Like they had like all the different like descriptions of the monsters. and
Yeah,
stuff
I
in
mean
it.
it was still written, but it was just descriptions.
Yeah,
it wasn't.
Sorry, it wasn't a picture
was
book.
like-
I didn't mean it
it
like that.
wasn't-
It was more, like I would call it more like a coffee table book.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
very true.
Yeah.
And she wrote those and all the stuff, all the extra content on Pottermore. Like there was a couple extra
yeah,
like Marauders
yeah,
things,
short
but that was
stories
the
and
first full book she published outside of the Harry Potter universe.
And
as
she
a whole.
published this under a different name, right?
Yeah, she did. I don't remember what the name was.
We'll get Sade on, our
Yeah,
resident, our J.K.
Yeah.
Rowling expert.
and that's the
She
thing.
would
We'll get her on there.
Yeah, she I think knows more about J.K. Rowling in general, but I would say I know at least as much about Harry Potter in general as she does.
We should have a
Fighting words.
We should have a Harry Potter. She
We
listens to this
should.
show.
We should. There's this quiz on Sporkle where you have to name the top 200 Harry Potter characters, not ranked, like by mentions.
Just type in Weasley.
You do, and you get like 10, but there's 200, and I have never gotten past 160. This is a deep point.
Why don't we just use that as reference?
Exactly. Okay, so
If she
that'll
can
be
beat
the-
160,
Okay.
you will relinquish your
Sade.
title.
No, I will try again.
We're gonna do this on
This
the
is
show.
gonna be ongoing.
No one's gonna watch, but it's gonna be awesome.
Can I be
You
the
have to do it in
host?
20. You have to do it in 18 minutes too. So
I don't know what that
Dang.
means. I guess is that,
That's
is
a
that
unit
a
of
long
time.
I-
Well,
It's-
it's longer than 17 minutes.
Okay.
But shorter than 19.
okay, that makes more sense.
yeah.
I more meant like, is that a long time, or is not enough time to name all the Harry Potter characters? Or there?
I don't know if it's not enough time, but it's just you get to a point where you're like, who the fuck
You
else?
just name all the
I just
kids.
named like Daedalus Diggle, who was mentioned like 4 times.
The 2 books that you do that mention the most characters, in at least my opinion, that I'm just thinking of is
Goblet
one.
of Fire.
Well, that's stop talking.
Why am I on
Stop
here?
talking.
I think 1 because it names off like 90 of the kids that are at the tables,
Mm.
and then 3 because it's the first time you get to see like the city really, and they're just talking about all the people that they meet up with there and everybody that Sirius Black has come in contact with, and then 4 because of all of the students
The
that come.
Triwizard.
Yeah, because in 7 it's just about like 5 people. So
Yeah, it's about but think about it. They mention like any like Hepzibah Smith, who they just like Tom Riddle gets the
Okay.
they cut from. Her name is in it like 20 times, so she's on there. Her house elf Hokey is
I
on
didn't think
there.
that. Like I was
Like,
just thinking of
Yeah.
pure
it's like
numbers, like name as many
backstories. No,
characters.
no,
It's
no.
how many times they're mentioned.
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
have to mention them by
By
popularity.
least amount, it's like it goes down to like 20 mentions in all 7 books. It's like those are the least amount. There's a girl named Leanne, no last name.
Dude, you're
She's
giving-
on there.
you're playing
I know,
your
I'm
hand
giving
right
the
now.
game away.
You're playing your hand. You
I know.
can't.
I'm bad at that.
Sade's not a cheater, but I'm sure you
But
know.
I'm sure she's cheating right now.
If you challenge her to Harry Potter, she'll pull out all the stops. She
That's
also
true.
knows a lot. When you said that, I was like, That's like all she. It's like
That's
all
all she-
she's into.
That and
That
Doctor
Doctor
Who. Yeah.
No, she reads a lot too.
She does.
But she loves Harry Potter.
I know. So
she used
do
to
I.
write fan fiction.
I know. I read her fan fiction.
It's not bad. It's
We were
pretty
actually
solid.
friends in high school. I feel bad about saying I didn't have any friends now because people are probably like, "What the fuck? I thought we were
Were
friends."
you guys in theater together?
No, I was never in theater. I wasn't a team player. Like part of things.
I get it, player.
So the black lipstick and the teen books.
No,
this goes
no
along
lipstick,
with the
but yeah.
no team stuff. Okay, so
I
you
ju-
also have the Iliad and the Odyssey.
Yeah,
Which one did you read?
the Odyssey. No, the Iliad.
Neither.
It doesn't sound like I
Neither
read
is
it
the
now.
answer. Neither is the answer. I'm
I read
sure.
the first one.
What, did you like it?
I did. I went on a whole classics kick where that's when I bought like Taming of the Shrew and I have a whole Shakespeare
I bought. It's not a
anthology.
children's version. I forget what they call it. It's like an adjusted version. It's like very much like Where Brother or Oh Brother Where
We're
Art
Out
Thou.
Thou, yeah.
Like it's like an adaptation of the
Right.
story, and I bought it for my nephew. He just turned 12, so I thought that'd be appropriate because he likes to read. He just
does?
Yeah, I know.
Cool.
I was so excited when he was like, "Would you buy me books for Christmas?" I've also bought him a PS4, but.
Obviously.
But I mean, like also books. We got him the Maze Runner series because he really wanted
Oh,
it.
okay.
He
Those
had,
books
I
are
didn't
actually
read
good.
that
I
one.
started reading.
oh, did you like them?
The movie was.
I didn't like the first one. I didn't keep reading, but I have faith. You know, I'm sure they're good. I liked Hunger Games, the first one.
I like the
couldn't
Hunger
read
Games series.
they
Couldn't do
I
it.
were
just
very
couldn't-
similar to me in a lot
Yeah.
of ways, but I do understand what you're saying. Just
Yeah.
like the way it's written is very
The way it's
different.
written is different.
Yeah,
I
the,
can't handle that.
the
writing
Maze Runner
style.
is definitely a more popular writing style. But I gave that to him, and he loves that series. He's read.
Sweet.
I think there's 4 books. He read all of the ones that are out so far, at
There's
least.
4 or 5. I
He
think.
brought me the book fair thing. You guys remember book
Oh
fair?
my god, I
Yeah.
loved book
Yeah,
fairs.
Dave and I were talking about that the other day.
I forgot that was even a thing, and he brings me this
Fucking little like-
newspaper like
yeah,
piece
it's
of
like
paper.
like a 4-page catalog.
and
Yeah.
it's super. You can't even call it a catalog. It's like a pamphlet,
It
basically.
is.
And it's like super cheap, and it's like so colorful. It's like, the fuck is this? He was like, this is
Scholastic Book Fair
The
time.
last time he brought me one, he was 7, and he only wanted this zombie book because it came with it came with like a Swiss Army knife.
Oh
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And I was like, I'm not buying it because you don't want to read the book. I ended up giving him the Zombie Survival Guide, which I probably shouldn't have, but it's an amazing book. So. it's the book that Brooks wrote before
World War Z.
World War Z.
Oh,
It's more of like
that makes
it's
sense.
a survival guide. It's
I actually own
really
that book.
good. It's really fun. Yeah. So I gave him that, and he really liked that. And then he read the Hunger Games. He loved all the Hunger Games.
Right.
I bought him Aragon. We're gonna surprise him with that.
Oh,
not
go
bad.
on
yeah.
there. Yeah,
I have
but-
all those too.
Yeah, that's what got me into fantasy, and he
Yeah.
hasn't really read much fantasy yet. He's into the futuristic stuff, so I got him Ender's Game as well.
Ooh, Ender's
I've
Game's
never
really,
read
Ender's Game's one of my
but you guys
favorites.
all
It is
recommend
really
it to me
good.
all the
I've
time.
only
Yeah,
read the
I do.
first 2 books, but
You like them?
yeah, I love.
I
have
like
to
them a lot.
finish
I think Ender's Game has the most compelling story because the other ones go off on kind of tangential parts of the world, and they're
Okay.
not as all encompassing. They're more about like Ender's Shadow is also very good, very very compelling. But then there's Shadow of the Hegemon, and it's like about the government of the Earth after Ender leaves, and it's like the hegemony has been keeping them together, and now it's all like crumbling. But it's a very different story.
See, I'm so torn on that because there's a bunch of people that I talk to and some people that I follow and stuff, and everyone talks about this book in so many different lights because everyone who's really positive about it, like they tell me like all the different cool things, like all the different ideas, like the
Yeah.
whole idea, like so they travel essentially through time because they're using like speed of light.
Yes.
So when they get to some place, when they go back, everyone they knew is dead.
Yeah.
And like
Damn.
that's such a realistic way to
fucked up.
travel through space because that's how it really would work.
Mhm.
It's like very much what's the new Christopher Nolan movie?
Oh, I don't know.
It's not new, but the one where he goes to different planets and it's about them finding an alternative home for Earth.
Interstellar.
Interstellar.
Yeah.
It's the same concept as that. It's like it's going to take them way too long to get back. So in that one, and essentially they show up and their ship's obsolete because it's been hundreds of years. So they
Yeah.
give them a new ship and they travel back and everyone else is dead on that planet. I like that idea with Ender's Game. And then just some of the way it's written. And then there's the bad things where it's like kind of like there are certain hints that they don't let people have different sexualities and how there's only one race essentially that they've kind of allowed until they've gone to other different planets and they've had to assimilate, but Earth only has really one race.
That's not really a part of it.
That's from what I've read. It
No,
seems
because
like
there's a Muslim kid in it
But
who's
how's
like
he
a very
treated?
he's one of the commanders.
I know. Doesn't
like,
he? I mean,
his name is
that,
Ali.
Is that Ender's Shadow?
No,
Oh,
that's
okay.
Bean. He's
Oh.
he's Eastern European.
Okay, so like I said, I
Actually,
haven't read them, so it's all hearsay.
I would
essentially,
definitely
but-
agree on the sexuality things, and part of it, like a defense of it, would be that the kids are younger. But I mean, if you know anything about human sexuality, you know
That's not how it works.
that's not how it works. But
And that's what I mean. Like, I'm sure the good outweighs the bad a little
Yeah.
bit. It's just I didn't really know about Ender's Game until the controversy was talked about when they were coming out with the movie. So it was a little bit soiled for me, so I just never brought back to it. I don't really have anything against. Like I said, I can't really form my own opinion until I read it myself.
There's also like 2 female characters, and one of them has like 10 lines in the book, and the other one has like is important character early on, Petra, but then it kind of falls away, and then she comes back briefly, and she has like a nervous breakdown.
And that's why I'm going to let him form his own opinion. Like I said, he's 12.
It's good.
But he's the shit, so I was like, you know what? I'm sure you're not going to pull the wrong things from this book.
Yeah.
You know? But that's why I got him Aragon. I got him Ender's Game. What's the other series I got for him? I don't... Oh, it was the Black Prism. I got him the first book. Soft cover. I haven't read the Black Prism. I've read the other Brent Weeks books.
Yeah,
Like the Angel Trilogy.
that'd be good for him.
Yeah? You think he'd
Yeah.
like... It's not too bad. I know, like, Kip's mom... Or not Kip. Is that his name, Kip's mom?
Yep.
Like, she's like a drug addict and stuff, but...
Yeah,
Sure.
she's a terrible person, but that's all
But
right.
I mean, he's 12. Like I said, I think he can form his own opinions
it
on
sort of
stuff.
glosses over that pretty quickly, so it...
Okay. I didn't want to give him Night Angel Trilogy, which I love and I read when I was that young, but...
Yeah,
But
it
maybe
was
should not
basically
have.
Basically just like, yeah, she's terrible, and this kid's gonna do something different, so
Okay.
don't worry about it.
Okay. Any other like recommendations for you mean to get for him, like for like younger adult books?
I'm trying to
'Cause
think.
I didn't really read any of those. I didn't really read much until I was like 14, so...
I read young adult books, but
It was because of Harry Potter too, by the way.
well, I started reading when I was really young because my older brother knew how to read, and I was really competitive with
Oh,
him.
I knew how to read.
So I was like, be damned if I don't know how to read. And I'm like 2 or 3.
and I liked books
And I
until...
started like at that age, like
Right.
yeah, pretty
Like just and
pretty
you just kept going.
consistently. Yeah, I never really stopped. I mean, I would go through phases when I used to sneak out of classes to go to the Scholastic Book Fairs. I was going to the bathroom, and then they'd
Nerd.
find me there like 30 minutes later.
No, I read the first Harry Potter and I just didn't like it, so I thought I didn't like books because everyone else loved it.
Yeah,
I'm actually in the same boat there.
So I was like, all right, I guess I just don't like books. And then when I was 12, I was like, what? It was just one book.
What was my problem?
And then our buddy TJ, who's never been on the show, so I'm just gonna toss out his name so no one gives a fuck. He gave me Aragon.
oh yeah,
And he was like, you need to read this. I promise you will like it. And I read it. I'm like, oh my god, books are amazing.
So good.
Read that series. That series kind of petered out, but then I found Night Angel Trilogy with you
Yep.
guys, and so that got me back into books essentially. But
That was the one time I judged a book by its cover, and it paid off.
but then I just read everything. I read The Hobbit that year. I
Yeah.
read all the Lord of the Rings books.
Yep.
Most of the Silmarillion, which was a
Sure.
really hard read. I slogged through that.
It's hard to read.
It's
through
got some good
Silmarillion.
stuff, and then it kind of trails off sometimes because like it was never really finished.
No.
And then there's a few stories where you can tell a lot that his son finished the books, and there are some where it was a good thing that he finished it because
Yep.
like the second half of the book's really good.
Yeah.
So like there are a
Sure.
couple where it's
There's
like this
like
is
the
clearly
whole
not my thing.
unfinished tales. Too.
Tales,
I
yeah,
have
which,
that.
yeah, that's pretty sweet. Was that originally a part of it, and they just published it separately, or
I don't think it was a part of it. It was just.
it just seems like a really good companion. So those are all really good. What's the bottom book you had over there?
That's Hamilton.
Yeah, that's Hamilton.
Oh, okay, we
Hamilton.
should talk about Hamilton then. So
Alexander
what are we reading
Hamilton.
right now?
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Everyone's reading Hamilton.
Actually, I just read
I haven't
Armada
started
too.
it.
Yeah, we haven't
but
started that. Oh, you read Armada?
I did read Armada.
So Armada is by what's his name?
What
I'm
is
sorry.
his name?
He
Oh,
wrote.
I feel bad now. Ernest Cline.
Ernest Cline.
Ernest Cline.
He wrote Ready Player One.
Which I really liked.
I loved Ready Player One.
Which was, and a lot of that I know logically was the nostalgia
Oh,
of it, of
definitely.
all the games and like the books he's mentioning. I'm like, oh, I love all
I
these.
think part of it was Will Wheaton read it.
Yeah, so anything that Will Wheaton does, I'm into.
Because I do the whisper sync with the audiobooks, so I'll
Yeah.
read a lot of it on my phone, and then it'll switch over to the audio like when I'm driving or when I'm
Right.
at work. So then Will Wheaton would read a chapter. I'm like, oh, this is
Oh, Will
really
Wheaton.
good. And I like the book too, but I can definitely tell it's. Oh, that's why I should give him my Ready Player One.
You should.
As I say, that's.
I got that
perfect
from
for
my
his age.
brother,
I
but
just. We're so
27.
into pop culture that we understand all the 80s references, even though we weren't born in the 80s.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd be as interested. Like, when they talk about Cheers or...
It's a compelling story though. Like,
It is.
kid
It
who's
is.
really into video games gets to like be the
like-
most important person in the world.
What, the big thing, like, what about when they start talking about, Ultraman and all of the big kaiju stuff?
I don't know. I
God.
think that because that was some of the stuff where I only knew it kind of like
Tangentially?
tangentially, and I still thought it was good because it was like it's still describing a big battle between monsters and stuff. You know,
That's
it's
true,
like
true.
you were more interested in it because you knew what it was, but it's still interesting. I think even if you don't get the references.
I guess, yeah, he'd probably have to look up a lot of that
Yeah,
stuff, too.
but I mean,
like,
he
when they
has
talk
Google.
so Spider-Man's giant robot from the Japanese show
Yeah,
that
no,
was on for
I didn't get that.
one year, like, He wouldn't know what the fuck is happening. He's like, why does Spider-Man have a giant robot?
But then he'd be like, man, did Spider-Man have a giant robot? I should read that.
It's a really good show. I mean, it's
watch
not,
that.
but it's totally worth a watch. If you don't know what we're talking about, Spider-Man had a... I forget the name of those shows where it's
I have
like
no idea.
a warrior and they have the giant robots. There's a name for that kind of thing. But it's like the Super Sentai
Monster
Ranger,
Battle.
like the Zeo Rangers, that kind of thing. Same kind of show where like they would have martial arts fights and then he would jump into a giant robot.
Of course.
Because that's what Spider-Man
That's what you
does.
do. That's how you love. That's how you make a fight go.
And people wonder why Marvel didn't license stuff for a long time.
They got burned.
They got burned a couple of times.
Armada, I didn't think was as good though.
From what everyone told me, it retread
not.
The Last Starfighter.
It
I read that and I didn't like The Last Starfighter, so I
it
just really didn't
retread
want more
so
of that.
many things. It was just like it felt like a more simplistic version of Ender's Game in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And it's not the same plot, but
It's like
follows
the
the
Last
same
Starfighter's
structure.
plot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like he's been trained all of his life playing this video game, but didn't know it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
Which was basically the story of Ready Player One as well.
yes, but he did know. It was more for him.
Yeah,
I
he
felt
was trained
it
in
was
that
more
one, I
the
guess.
quest of it. He was trying to do that, and it was just this. I felt like it didn't build to moments that much. It was like there was this romance, but it was just like this girl shows up and she has 3 lines. He's like, man, I think she's so hot, and then it's like that's it, and then she just is like around, but she doesn't really talk anymore. She just shows up and is cool, and then they like fall in love and have babies.
That did bother me a little
And
bit
it's like,
about Ready
I
Player
don't-
One.
Yeah, me too.
Like his best friend's like, oh, she's a girl and she's black and she's fat. It's like, okay.
and she's
what?
a lesbian too.
Oh, was she? Okay.
Yeah.
So why didn't they just let her be that? Like, I understand. Like, if they would have did it halfway through the book, I think it would have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So it
think-
was just like, okay, sure. And then the girl, but she was really good. But
She
them
was really
being-
good.
I guess them being
She
like
had more
love
of
interests.
a-
I guess I don't know. That was a little bit weird.
She had more of a fleshed out character though.
Right.
She had like things that she wanted and things that she thought like
The thing that
that's
bothered
very
me the
different in
most is
Armada.
that she was clearly better at the game than him.
Oh
but he
yeah,
was still the
and he
chosen
still
one.
won. That's how it is. It's like you can be better at everything. That's like definitely a trope in like movies and stuff now for women. It's like you can be the best at everything and still lose.
That's a lot of the Silmarillion too. Some of those early stories. It's a lot like, oh, this one girl all powerful, but we killed her, so we do it now.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what? And then they do it
Anyways.
again. And then, oh, the elves, yeah, all the chicks, they were really good, but we don't let them do stuff. Like, no. What?
Right?
And then you just read The Hobbit, and you're like, okay, I guess women don't
Definitely.
exist in this world.
That's
Nope.
why those books are
Or The
so
Lord of
appealing
the
to
Rings, there's
14-year-old
only-
girls.
Okay, I will.
Like,
I will.
you see where I'm
completely
coming to
concede
that?
See, like I
Yeah.
love Planetfall. Planetfall is all about really strong women, which is also
Yeah.
really awesome. Also, like, it's not just like it doesn't just paint all of the men in bad light either. It's like
Yeah.
everyone's equal, but it just follows really good women characters, like or female women characters, the women folk. No, like female characters. And it's so spot on. With like they're usually smarter. They're usually more logical.
True.
But not all men are like, let's kill it. But sometimes we are.
True.
we do have our moments.
we have our moments.
That's like the way to do female characters is just to have a bunch of them
Just
because
let them
it's
be-
like
just
let
let
them
them
be
be
women.
human.
Well, and that's why it's like if you have like the new Star Wars movie, it has like 6 women in it, so it's not like all the pressure's on this one. Not all the pressure's on Leia.
There's only one
like-
woman in space, and it's Leia.
Exactly.
Oh, and
where it's
Mon
like-
Mothma.
And Mon Mothma. And all the slave girls.
Not gonna lie, Mon Mothma was pretty hot though.
Yep.
She can command my army any day.
I'm glad this is where this conversation about women started.
This full-on feminist talk just ends with
Anyways, she's hot.
she can lead my armada.
Sure.
But also Admiral Akbar. I'd fuck him too.
Obviously.
probably-
Lando Calrissian.
Oh,
That's where it's
sexiest
at.
motherfucker in space.
Obviously.
I mean, Han Solo. That hasn't been
Oh,
mentioned.
well, to be
but,
fair, I have a giant Harrison Ford poster in
Harrison
my room.
Ford?
Harrison Ford. You can tell how much I care about him. 'cause I
Sex
know-
architect.
I don't
At
need a
least
poster
3
because he's
DVDs.
always on my mind.
No.
Oh.
like I see what you're saying by tossing it, but like I don't know if that's necessarily like the best way to handle it. Let's just put a bunch of
Just
them
put
in
a
there.
bunch of women in it.
Like,
I
no,
think,
I don't.
but it's easier to have women who have realistic faults and that not be their whole personality. When
So
you
in
have
other
a
words,
lot of
what
women
you're saying
female
is
characters.
write them like they're human beings.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
George R.R. Martin. I've always believed women to be people. That's great.
God.
Oh, George.
He's fantastic.
No, he is fantastic, and also he just no discrimination. He kills everyone.
No, he
I
kills
love it.
everyone.
I love
Well, and
it.
actually, like, as for all of the sexual assault against women in there, it happens to men too in the series, and it's like a lot
They
of
just
it
don't
is
touch
like
on it in the
behind
show.
closed doors and stuff, which is how it how it happens a lot in the real world. So it's like, yeah, it's a shitty world, but it's not that different from ours.
And like some people were arguing about it, like with the show. Like I don't want to spoil anything with it, but there is a rape scene in the most recent season, against a woman, and a lot of people are trying to call the fence because like people were mad and they were saying, well, what's the bald guy?
Varys,
Yeah, the unit.
the spider.
Yeah, and they were saying like, well, he was sexually assaulted like over and over again. They talk about it. I'm like, yeah, they talk about it.
But
They
you don't
didn't
show it.
They didn't make me watch it for 30 seconds, which I mean, I understand the point of it, I guess, for the show.
Yeah.
It went on too long.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it
got
did.
to that scene where he starts talking about that and he's opening up the box and it's
Yeah.
like,
And I like that he got revenge. I
Yep.
hope this happens for this other character. Again,
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Well-
but they watching it with you and my wife, and I'm
Yeah.
like, this is really uncomfortable.
We were all
Like,
watching, and we were like, "Oh my god!"
and
We
I
can
and
watch
I know
literally
and,
anything
and
else.
I always defend it because it's art. There's nothing off limits with art.
Yeah.
It's just like that's not what I want to see. But I think that was the point of it. It was supposed to be upsetting.
I
Yeah.
think
supposed to be uncomfortable.
a lot of
So,
the blowback for it was for how much they focused on the male characters' reactions to it. Like how much I don't want to say who's who because you haven't watched it yet.
Right,
but
but I do
it was
understand what you're saying.
It was
yeah.
happening to the female character, and instead it keeps zooming in on the male character's face. Like, what do they think about what's happening? And it also
I think it's
happened
supposed to
to
be
a
him being
different character.
passive.
Yeah, and that is very much. I get where they're going with his character arc. It's just that was the moment they chose to focus on his character arc.
Right.
When this horrible thing's happening
Right.
to her,
And they did use it, like you were saying. They did use a main character.
who it didn't happen to. In the
It
book.
happened,
was
happened
a
to somebody
totally
else
different thing.
in the
So
book.
in a way, it changes her story arc pretty
Right.
dramatically.
And I think that was their whole point. I don't know. I just like no one ever wants to see that. So it's kind
don't.
of torn. But you don't have to watch the show. I
That's
guess,
true.
yeah.
Especially on a platform like ABC or not ABC.
HBO.
That would be
It's
shocking
not-
if it
it's
was
not
on
on
ABC.
ABC, it's on
It's
ABC
not on
Family.
ABC.
You
It's
know
on
what you're
HBO.
kinda-
Game of Thrones, ABC
I guess you kind
Family.
of know what you're getting
Ooh.
into. You
You
know what I
do.
mean? And that's the thing. Like I never understand the backlash when it comes to that stuff. Like being mad about it. Period. Like I said, I didn't want to see that. It sucked having to see that. But I chose to watch that show.
Right.
I didn't necessarily know what was going to happen, but I still chose to watch the show, and I continue to watch it. You make that decision with that stuff. You don't have to. A lot of the outcry is like people that don't watch it. Like, how dare they do that? I'm like, don't watch the show. It's not for you.
Yeah.
It's a piece of art, and
If
art's
it's not for you, it's
always
not for you.
pretty, I guess. But
I know there was a lot of blowback earlier in a previous season too because they turned what was a consensual sex scene into a rape scene.
Right.
And it was like
With-
this is a
with-
very violent
with
show.
Daenerys and yeah.
Oh no, that too.
Oh,
Two
okay,
now that I'm
yeah.
thinking of with the.
Oh, okay,
I don't know
okay,
how
so-
far Dave is, and I don't want to.
And we don't want to spoil stuff for
Yeah.
viewers, but they do that. I guess often.
Yeah, and it's like it's already such a violent series, like so it's like
Can I
I
say
don't
doo doo?
Yeah.
Really? Really?
right in the middle of this conversation.
This is like
Take a beat, guys.
Times on the last podcast.
is this a drinking game now? Is everyone laugh every time I say doo doo?
Yes.
In our house, that's a drinking game in our house.
For the record, this is not completely uncommon. They also do it every time I say you already are because I say you already are. They tell me I sound like a pirate.
It's funny because I just had a long conversation with one of my little cousins about how mature I was.
Really?
Doo doo. You already are.
It might be doo-doo.
We'll use that to segue a little bit from this. So another like strong element like for that kind of stuff is Jordan's reading The Road right now, right?
I am.
What do you think?
I think it's really good. I know Dave liked it, but wasn't.
It's just very bleak.
Yeah.
It's the same thing her father said to
Yeah.
me.
Like I pretty much had his whole opinion on it. Like it's very bleak and it's
There's
just.
no reason for it.
I mean,
Senseless.
Picks up somewhere, ends somewhere. No beginning or
With
mid
people
or end.
who
Really.
have names that you don't know.
You don't know their
That's
names.
one of the things that I like about it, though. It's,
Thank you.
It's just so interesting how it picks up on just like a random story.
And it's the
of-
bleakness of it, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like I've talked about it before on the podcast, but I bought the book the same day I found out I was going to be a father, and it's all about a father and son traversing the
Yeah.
apocalypse, and it's
as
so
essentially like a nomadic life. that
yeah,
is-
and it's
Yeah.
so sad. They're always starving and stuff, and it's
Uh-huh.
just. And I'm having a daughter now, so I connect with it, I guess, a little bit less, but it's the same thing.
and just everything the kid says to his dad,
I
like,
know.
questioning everything, and
And it's exactly how it would be, you know.
Exactly.
And it's so realistic in that sense, and also, okay, so I always compare it to The Last of Us because it's a similar story. You
Mhm.
know, an older man, a young child, and they're traversing the apocalypse. But in The Last of Us, it's all about hope. The road is about the lack thereof.
Mhm.
There is no hope. You know that they're on essentially, a meaningless fetch quest that will end with nothing. You know, the world is covered in ash. There's nothing left. Nothing grows. Nothing to eat but people. Yes,
Yep.
exactly. So like from the start, like, well, this cannot end well.
There's a
And I'm
co-
not going to tell you how it ends. But what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say there's a Coca-Cola here and there, but
There's cannibals. There's Coke. There's it's.
I
It's
think there was
bleak.
like some grape Kool-Aid in one.
There is grape
Yeah.
Kool-Aid. It was grape soda too at some point, right? No, was it grape soda? Was it Coca-Cola? Am I
I think
confused?
you're just
There
thinking
was
of all
Am I
that.
combining it?
there's a Coca-Cola.
There's a Coca-Cola. Yeah. So I mean, like there's some levity in it, but as a whole, it's just like I said, it's art. It's not always supposed to make you feel
Yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah.
And I understand, and I know you understand that you can still not like it. You know, you're entitled to your opinion.
I like it.
Even if
It's just
it's
it
wrong.
also wasn't really what I wanted to read at the
that point?
time. It was like, oh, this is something. All
I
right.
think I actually came out of like all the YA, like all the young adult stuff, like wanting to read something more bleak. Because all of it's like, yeah, things are terrible, and then it always turns out well. And then as I like got older, I was like, nothing turns out well ever.
I need to read
Don't
something
you lie
happy.
to me.
That was one thing coming off reading anything by Cormac McCarthy. You're gonna want like
you
you're
need
gonna
to
want to
pick
read
me
like
up.
a Disney book. You're gonna want.
I have 3 copies of Peter Pan though. To like even that
Peter
out.
Pan's dark as fuck, and I won't even.
I know,
We might
I
have this
know.
debate here in a few minutes, but
Okay.
until we'll go through the
We'll
the
come
road
back
first.
to it.
The other thing I want
had
to
a
talk
lot of
about was
points.
we were talking about the writing style and like how you didn't like Hunger Games writing style. How did you feel? Like I know Dave, it wasn't your best thing. Like how did you feel with the writing style? With Cormac McCarthy, I don't know if everybody listening has read anything by him.
Well, he wrote I just forgot the name of it.
Google it.
I will.
But in the road specifically, because I've only read 2 books by him. He's really minimalist with the punctuation. So everything's a period, no commas. He just talks. And if there's a question, it's very obviously a question. It'll have 2 question marks, and he barely ever uses them because you don't need it. He's just trying. It's very much like Mark Twain, like Mark Twain was always like, "Fuck grammar, like just read
Fuck
my story."
grammar.
You don't like that? I said ain't. Don't read my book.
No Country for Old Men.
No Country for Old Men. Thank you. That was
yeah.
it.
That's
I was. That's why I said I only read 2 books. I'm like, I don't remember what the other one was.
exactly.
I like the movie better. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the movie.
The movie was really fucking good, but the book's also good. But he does the same thing. It's just like a lot of declarative sentences because there's not a lot of dialogue, so he doesn't need it. And if people are talking, you know they're talking. You don't need to put the quotations. I just liked his style of it. And Dave just when he first came to me, he was like, "The fuck is up with the writing?"
Yeah, it was so difficult for me to like follow the conversation sometimes because they wouldn't introduce like who was talking first, and it would do the thing where like it's indented, every time the speaker changes.
Right, like normal grammar, but it never introduced who said it was.
Yeah, it never told me who started it. So I was like, wait, so is this the dad or the kid? Is
Context
this someone
clues.
new?
Yeah.
Or?
And I think it was like you had to like you go fully. He's like he expects you. Kind of like doesn't hold your hand. Kind of like Neil Gaiman that same way. He's like he assumes that you get what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
That's,
and
that's
the-
the hardest thing whenever I've tried to read Neil Gaiman. It was just
Yeah.
I can't
I'm
do it. I
actually
don't like
reading-
American Gods. I
that's
really
what
thought
I'm
I
reading
would.
right now.
You like it?
I am like only like 100 pages into it. I like it so far. I think it's all set up so far.
I love
You know,
all
I don't
Neil
know what's
Gaiman's
happening.
comic books.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
I read
Sandman.
Stardust and
You
I
read-
liked it a lot.
Okay, I like Stardust. I'll
Yeah.
give that one to you. But the rest of the stuff's so trippy, and I get that's what American Gods is supposed to be about. But like,
Couldn't get it. Couldn't get
it's,
into it.
It's the same thing that Dave was talking about. It's like, what is this about? What is
Where
the
are you
narrative
going
of
with this?
It's just like we're getting all the gods back together. I'm like,
For what?
why? Who? they're the new
Because you
gods.
did a lot of shitty things when you were together the first time.
Although I might watch the show because they're casting the show.
Are
right now.
they?
Yeah, and they
What?
just casted I forget his name from the 100.
Which one?
Octavia's boyfriend.
Oh, Link. I don't
Lincoln.
know that actor's name.
I can't think
but
of his name
it's
either. But
Lincoln.
Lincoln from the 100.
Love the
He's an
100.
amazing actor. And it was
He
so
is a
cool
good
because
actor.
Neil Gaiman's like, you're not gonna whitewash my book.
Oh,
No
yeah.
one's white. Don't cast them.
Don't do that.
And they did. And it was like, oh, he's such a good actor too. Like he's
Yeah.
the best person in the 100. In the first season, when everyone was kind of crappy,
Yeah.
but like getting better, he was always good.
He started out
Like
A+.
he's the shit. Plus, he knows how to fight, and he's in really good shape.
I
So I don't
haven't
know what
watched that
Ameri-
much
I
behind the
mean,
scenes stuff.
I haven't read that far into it. But
Which character is he gonna be?
I
Who
think,
knows?
I think he's the main guy.
All of them.
The guy.
Oh,
who's,
Shadow.
Yeah, the guy who's like Shadow.
Shadow,
He's
just
the one
out of
who's traveling
prison.
with the one god.
Yeah.
I forget the
Wednesday,
names.
Mr. Wednesday. I'm reading it right now.
Okay.
This is also like what I do. All of what I do.
So other than the writing and the bleakness, is there anything that you did like? I guess like did you
I mean,
from the road? I mean,
I really just don't know how to explain how I feel about it. It was interesting because I wanted to know like what was going to happen, but then nothing happened.
yeah, that's the road. But then again, so many things happen, and it's like I was telling you, like, and you know this, like it's just more about the journey really than the
Yeah.
destination.
It's
just was-
interesting
it-
in the
quite
movie,
literally.
It just
too.
was not the journey
Yeah,
I wanted
the
to go
movie's
on at
really
the time.
good.
I like the movie too with Viggo Mortensen. I thought it did a great job. Charlize Theron plays the mom, and she's not in it a lot. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's.
Yeah.
I recommend the book, Amy. I think you'd like it. It's bleak. Tissues,
Yeah, my dad actually recommended it too, go figure. But
but your dad didn't like it. I thought.
no, he enjoyed it, but I don't think I'm trying to describe how he felt about it. I think he was bummed out by it.
Yeah,
but
Oh,
he,
it's,
like-
it's
but
a
he
bummer,
enjoyed
man.
the book. But he was like, God, I hope this
To
doesn't
quote
happen.
the dude, it's a bummer, man.
Like I would recommend it. Like, it's worth a read, but you're not necessarily gonna enjoy it.
You're not gonna be happy at the end.
No, you don't enjoy that book, and that's why when
You
I explained to you, you're like,
experience it.
because I was like, I really like doing it, and I was like,
Rephrase that.
it was an experience. Like I don't know. It's like I enjoyed the book, I guess, as a whole, but like the experience itself, it's not supposed to be enjoyed. It's supposed to bring you down.
Yeah.
And I guess sometimes since I'm not into artwork that does that, like I don't get a lot of emotion from drawing. I can pick out when something looks cool. I like
Yeah.
cool art. Like I have a Nightwing painting over there that Emily painted for me that I'll
Sure.
bring up here. I like that kind of. I love comic books, but I can't like you show me pointillism. I'm like that's neat, and that's all I got for you.
Yep.
George Seurat, well known for his pointillism.
Or same thing with like
I went to art school.
Jackson Pollock.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm like, oh, like and like all the theories about it, like almost mathematical. I think they're bullshit. I think he was just throwing paint.
It's horseshit.
It looks cool. I got nothing else for you. I
That's
don't feel
like-
that.
I
But
li-
with books, I can do that.
yeah.
Maud Lebowski and the Big
Oh
Lebowski.
yeah.
Exactly.
But that's the thing. Like I have studied art history, and so I can look at something and
I
be
forget.
like, I understand. I have a degree.
I forget you have a degree
too.
in fine arts. You have a fine arts degree in
I
art
do.
history, right?
No, I have my BFA is in 3D design.
What's BFA?
Bachelor of Fine Arts in art and design, special in 3D design specifically.
Okay.
And then I have a minor in art history.
Oh, okay.
It just says unemployed all over my resume.
It's better than communications or philosophy.
That's true. I had a philosophy major before I did this. And then I
was-
was like, I can do nothing with
When
this.
me and Dave were first when we were thinking about going to college in high school, we were taking like 2 different philosophy courses.
Yeah.
And we're like, we could do this. And then we just kind of had that discussion like, we would never get paid for anything.
Never.
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 And then
Well,
we never finished our degrees anyways, but
Never.
I briefly thought I wanted to be a lawyer, so I was like, "Oh, philosophy would be good for that." And then I was like, "Oh my god, I would hate that job. Oh, I don't want to talk to people or defend them."
I've
or,
still thought about maybe going back and like trying to get my law degree.
yeah,
Just because I always wanted to be a lawyer, but because I love to talk,
you do.
but I don't think I have the
Terry?
wherewithal. I don't.
Yeah.
We can get some chemicals. You can go blind and you can become Daredevil.
Oh,
I was telling my wife this. I was like, I want to be Matthew Murdock because he fights crime during the day and he fights crime during the night.
Yeah.
He's better than Batman.
well, yeah.
I love the Daredevil. He's the.
I
shit.
really like that Netflix series.
So you
I saw
I
it
know
all.
that you finished
Yeah,
it.
no, I finished it months ago.
We have several reactions on Jessica Jones.
I know.
We
I
didn't really
watched
talk-
them all. I'm your one viewer.
We didn't talk too much about Daredevil.
You're the one.
I know.
we
right?
gone on length in a couple of podcasts, but really, I mean, other than the amazing martial arts,
Oh
what
my
else did you like
gosh.
about it?
About Daredevil or Jessica Jones?
Daredevil.
Daredevil.
Charlie Cox,
I thought it was a yeah,
Sexy motherfucker.
That's
He
true.
pulls off the ladies' man thing
Oh,
so well.
so
I know.
such
he
the
nailed it.
the
Ben Affleck's
like he
character I
doesn't
thought
even
was too
try.
tragic,
Just
but
the
it's
like
the pure
effortless,
animal
just the
magnetism.
effortless ladies man. I really liked Kingpin in it. I thought they had a really good
What's the name of that actor?
Oh.
Vincent
Vincent
D'Onofrio.
D'Onofrio.
Yeah,
I loved him in
Boom.
Law and Order: Criminal Intent.
yeah.
That's like that's my favorite Law and Order. If one
I-
has a favorite Law and Order,
I
but-
think-
I don't think that exists.
No, I think Law and Order
Love Law and
SVU
Order.
has the best actors, but I cannot watch it. It's horrifying to me.
What's the name
Special
of the
Victims
No,
Unit
what's
is
the
the-
name of the main guy?
I don't know.
Like the character or the actor?
No, the actor.
Who knows?
I don't know. He's really
I
good
don't know
too.
either. But
He is really
But
good.
Criminal Intent, I love because number one, it wasn't a sexual assault every week, so I didn't have to. Yeah, exactly. I just can't.
I can't stomach it.
It's weird that I don't know. Like you don't want to equate like crimes, but like I can handle murder more than I can handle sexual assault, especially because it's like usually children on that show.
yeah,
And it's just so
it's
heartbreaking.
horrifying.
And I know it's not true. I know it's made up in that show, but that happens. And same thing, like murder happens, but I don't. I can stomach murder.
Yeah, it's
It
also
se-
like
feels
what
less
we're
personal.
supposed to. Like,
That's true.
like
Yes.
in
Yeah.
video games, we murder people thousands upon
Yeah,
thousands
but I don't
of
rape
times.
anybody
Yep,
in video
nope,
games.
never.
Exactly. So I that's a good point. That's good. It's almost a what's the word? Desensitized.
We
Yeah,
have lines,
that's
and we
true.
don't cross them here.
Yeah. I think everyone has lines.
Not everyone.
not
Watch
everyone.
the show. They don't have those lines.
But Criminal Intent, I loved him in that because my mom, because my mom loves Law and Order, she still watches it all
Mine
the time.
too.
That and NCIS, but
yeah,
yeah.
same.
but I've seen every single episode of Law and Order up until like I left home. So
Wait, so you've seen one episode?
You left home?
yeah, they're all the same. I just made that here. I just let everyone else move in. Okay, so in Criminal Intent, Vincent D'Onofrio's character, he's very eccentric. He's the eccentric guy on the show. and he likes to touch things. Like he goes to people's home and he touches them. They're like, please don't touch that. And that's every episode. So my mom always described him as, the guy, the guy who likes to touch stuff. So whenever I would describe the show, I'd be like, the guy who likes to touch stuff. And everyone's like, you mean Vincent D'Onofrio? I was like, yeah, that's the one.
You
They're
mean
like,
that well-known
the guy
actor?
Who gets to touch stuff? I was like, that's what he does in Criminal Intent.
Don't you know? Oh God, I'm calling my mom right
And
now.
they named like 10 other things he's been in. I was like, I know Law and Order. That's it. And like later, I mean, obviously Full Metal Jacket now and some other things, but
oh, Full Metal Jacket.
yeah,
I had a Vietnam movie kick in high school. I just watched all of them, and I cried for a while,
for a long time.
for like several weeks.
Watch Apocalypse Now.
I
Heart of
did.
Darkness,
I watched all of
Yeah.
those.
But I mean, Vincent D'Onofrio, Kingpin was amazing.
He had just such a nuanced performance.
Yes, and he
He
made
was
you root for
so
him a couple
interesting.
times.
You did. You're like, and that's the thing about doing things from a villain's perspective, especially when they have points that you understand. You're like, oh man, I really kind of want this to go well for you, and then you're like, but I don't.
I'm trying to think of how that saying goes. Like the best villains are the ones who think they're the hero.
Yeah,
Of their own story. Yeah, like
yeah.
I love, and he
That
did.
was so him. He
And
was
I-
like, I'm going to be a hero now. I've had
His
a fucked up
speech
life.
in the last episode.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I had goosebumps.
His speech
Those
and everything.
scenes that cut back to like his past with his mom and his dad.
In the wall?
Oh my
Messed up.
God.
Oh, especially that last scene with him in the wall.
Oh
the
my
friggin' White Rabbit.
Oh
White Rabbit.
God.
Rabbit in a snowstorm.
Snowstorm. Yeah, he was just so powerful.
He
in
was
it.
so powerful.
That's
in
what.
it.
That's kind of what sucked about the last. Like the last episode definitely petered out a little bit.
Yeah,
Just with their fight scene.
that
I
is
didn't
true.
think that was the best fight scene out of the series, which it should have been because he was so good in it. But Charlie
He's so
Cox was a little bit
physical.
boring.
It's
Yeah.
like Charlie Cox. He's jumping around. He's doing martial arts, and it is physical in that sense. But like Vincent D'Onofrio is just literally brutalizing.
Yeah, he
people.
did the full essence of
Like-
Kingpin because that was like in the comics when they did this big reveal in Daredevil, which he was a Spider-Man villain and stuff, but it was really big when he came back in Daredevil, and they showed him with his shirt off, and it's like a twist. It's like, oh, that really fat guy, he's actually all muscle.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing is like he can go toe to toe with
Yeah.
Spider-Man or Daredevil
Yeah.
because he has almost superhuman strength. But you just don't look when you look at him, you don't think
You don't
that.
think about it. He's like
a
the
shit
mountain
brick
and
house.
fucking.
I loved how they used him in Civil War because he was in jail at the time in Civil War, and he basically played the back character that
Yes.
like controlled everybody else to do the things. He's the one that caused Spider-Man and
Exactly.
everything. And
like because like they do that's Kingpin.
had a
You know what I mean? Like
hitman on his wife and
Wait,
his
yeah, like-
aunt.
This is the first
Back in
show.
Black. That was such a cool story.
First show that ever made me feel like I could get murdered in my own home.
Yeah, right.
Just
Oh,
get-
I've always
Kingpin
felt like
wanted
that.
you dead, you're
You'd be
dead.
dead.
Yeah, just that fucking scene.
Yeah.
You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking
He was
about.
just, he
Oh,
was so good
fucking-
in his malcontent speech when he's in the back of the truck. You know what I'm
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about? He's like,
yeah.
I'm the malcontent, and I was like, oh, God. That was actually. I'm very proud. I'm gonna call it out. I liked what I just did there.
Yeah, that was actually a very good impression.
I don't think I could ever.
I
do
don't
it
think
again.
I would say very good, but
Hey, fuck
passable.
you.
Just keep that as a recording, just like that little clip.
I can do it.
Just do it sound bites.
I'm the malcontent.
That's how you should end all your videos.
But that's I love that. Like I sometimes I just watch that scene.
Oh my
just him
God.
doing that speech in the back of the truck. Like, or I watched the hallway fight scene.
yeah.
Oh damn.
Because I also love that one a
Yeah.
bunch. What did you think of Jessica Jones?
I love Jessica Jones. I like Jessica Jones more, I think, because it was a more relatable story for me, just as far as like a lot of women in it, and it was it was just so good.
Oh, so you're
It's
also
incredible.
an
I
ex-superhero?
am also a woman, as you may know. Ex superhero.
I tried that whole superhero thing once.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
Like I liked her. I think sometimes
think-
she was over the top, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Like she
And
was
I
supposed
think
to be.
It's like anytime characters have really like volatile reactions, people are like, "Well, she just so overreacted." I'm like, "Have you met a person ever?" Like,
you ever met an angsty lady?
Emily was screaming the other day because people hadn't RSVP'd to her baby shower. I think her
Isn't there a
reactions
week
were
left for all
justified.
that?
There's several days now, but at that point, there was a week left for it.
That's what my mom said when I went
Yeah.
and talked to her about
Don't
it.
even-
I was like,
don't
I didn't
even-
even know, but
I know.
because Emily told me to talk to my mom.
To Emily's credit, she is pregnant,
No,
and
I
nobody
know.
RSVP'd to your wedding, so
I
she's
know.
still pissed.
I don't know. We didn't send thank you cards either. So
You said thanks to my parents.
yeah, I said thanks.
That's
I didn't
true.
Send
You
thank
didn't send a
cards.
card though.
I called Marion and I was like, "Thank you, you rock," but I didn't send
Marion's
thank you
the
cards to
best.
anybody. Let's just keep naming people that nobody knows.
Yeah. Topical family
Dave, name
members
all
of
of your aunts and
mine.
uncles and all of your estranged brothers and sisters.
Okay, well there's Drew, Cassie.
I just came from my house. My cousins were there.
Yeah,
My,
you know.
my cousin Bryce and Maddie.
It was weird. Like it was a good episode up until they just started naming all their relatives.
They lost me there.
Did you bring is the Historia there too?
Hyrule
Yes.
Historia.
I've been reading it.
So we never
It
did-
has words in it.
we didn't actually get
pictures
to it we've talked about like how much like we loved Hamilton the musical.
Oh
but
my gosh.
You two are reading the book. We're gonna read it after you guys.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What do you think of it so far?
It's very good, but it's super
So
dense.
dense.
It's so dense. It's 750 pages, and it's
No, you're good. I was just making sure your mic's on.
okay.
Okay.
That would suck.
No, I turned it.
45 minutes in, but it's impressive how much of it they fit in the musical.
Mhm.
I saw this post, and they said that if it had been paced like a normal Broadway show, like
Yeah,
didn't
there was
do,
no way.
it would have been like 6 to 8 hours,
Right.
and that's what that book is like. It's like it's very interesting life. It's so much.
Can you guys see it? Bring it up. Like, hold it up. This is a thick ass book.
Ron Chernow,
Boom.
Hamilton. But it's like it's so different to go from reading novels regularly that just you can fly through. It's just dialogue and
Can
stuff
I
and
give you
description
guys? I have a
and
couple.
just like biographies.
Do you like reading the
I
biography?
like reading biographies.
wanna like-
it's so much slower for me though.
It would be. So I was gonna say. I don't know if you might want something a little bit faster paced afterwards. But if you want more biographies, I have 2 on Abraham Lincoln that
I
are
knew you were
amazing.
gonna say Abraham Lincoln.
And then
Who else
Benjamin
is-
I'm
Franklin.
more of a Teddy Roosevelt kind of girl.
I have one
but
on Teddy Roosevelt and I
course
have
you
one on
do.
Benjamin Franklin.
That'd be great.
Yeah, which Teddy?
Yeah.
He a lot of fighting, as you would
Obviously.
expect. But Benjamin
Just what you would
Franklin's
think.
is more interesting. Like, there's still like they talk about him fucking everything. That moves.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But just some of the, I guess, inventions and things that he's done that no way improve any sort of way of life. He just really wanted to do it.
He's just
like,
bored.
Like I've talked about his way he distilled liquor through dairy
Oh.
to cut the bitterness and
Okay.
the bite. And I've done it and it works really, really well. And he's like, I just want to be able to drink brandy all day and not have that burn in my mouth.
It's like the flubber thing, where it's like, if you were an inventor, what would you invent? Probably flubber.
Exactly. This is what I mean. That was job flubber. Everybody hates flubber, and I love that movie so much.
Who hates flubber?
We talk about this all
How
the time.
dare you?
I didn't like it when it was first out as a little kid, just
Oh.
because it seemed like it was funny.
I
but
like-
it was
wacky.
boring.
I
Yeah.
cried when the flying robot died.
Of course. What was her name?
I don't know.
Penelope was the second one. I don't remember who the first
I
one
don't
was.
remember. I honestly don't remember. I can tell you all the robots from WALL-E though. Another robot movie.
Eva.
And WALL-E. Those are
And
the
WALL-E.
two
Those are
robots.
the 2 robots.
No, there's
There's Bernie.
Bernie.
He's the guy that cleaned the floor.
Floor.
Oh right. I was thinking of what's the ship's the ship wheel.
No, wait. Bernie was the welder that was outside, I think.
Oh, man,
Wow.
now you got me all confused. Yeah,
Wow.
what was the name of the ship?
I don't know.
First
I
mate.
forgot
Wasn't
now.
it Pilot?
No.
No, Pilot is from Farscape.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyways,
This is almost as bad as the relatives. Just naming off characters.
this is
We're
what
not
we do.
discussing them. We're just that's their names.
At this point, people know what they're getting into. Or you don't, because we're only 17 episodes in. So if you like this, subscribe. Find us on iTunes. Find us on YouTube, Twitter.
Squarespace.
Square. That's where our website's hosted at.
Mm-hmm. Tinder.
I'm not on it.
Squarespace is in no way advertisement for this show.
If you want to though, get in contact.
I'm not gonna get. No one is advertising anything on this show.
I'm trying to believe in you.
First, who'd want to contact us?
They can't run.
Would you
underground.
answer your phones?
No.
No signal here.
It's $24. Nothing.
Dollar
works on this.
General.
No one is calling me. So like us on iTunes, subscribe, put out a review. That really helps us pop up on different people's charts and stuff. So if you like us, tell us. If you hate us, tell us that too. Just put us on there.
Anything you want to ask us, just message us on like Facebook or tweet at
Yeah,
us.
we're Cave Trolls on Facebook. We are at Cave Trolls Cast on Twitter. We are cavetrollscast@gmail.com if you want to email us. Jordan is at Extraordinary on Twitter.
Yep.
I'm at Resident Stevel. Dave's at David Tulgetske. Are you on Twitter?
Yeah, I don't tweet very much though.
What
They're mostly Hamilton tweets right now.
toss it up. What is it?
I think it's Amy_Elise.
So at Amy Score
Something like
Elise
that.
Amy Scorleys.
underscore Elise.
Score.
And so like I said, find us on there. Jordan's on Tinder. So's Dave.
I'm
Amy
not.
on Tinder.
No.
Grinder.
No.
Okay,
I got too many creepy messages.
that's Tinder.
I know.
Yep.
And then I was like, well, I just lost faith in humanity and threw away my phone. Entirely. I had to get rid of the
That's
whole
just
computer.
the internet.
I know.
You know how many robots want to have sex with me?
It's
not,
horrifying.
not real people. Definitely
Robots.
not. Robots.
Robots.
I haven't gotten a single message.
Swipe right on Jordan. I know. I said it like he's like a dog in a pound.
Look at his
I'm gonna
face.
find him a good home.
For just one swipe a day.
He has abs.
He did had abs.
He had abs.
I worked out twice this week.
He's
I'm
getting
married. If you
older,
see me on
decrepit.
Tinder,
Call my wife.
it's not me. Someone has stolen my.
Oh,
identity.
actually,
It's
that's
probably me.
my profile.
That's
Call
why you.
Jerry.
That's why you got all the creepy messages.
Like your
You
beard,
want to do
man.
things to your beard. I get that a lot. It's not even that. It's not even that thick of a beard,
It
man.
used to be, and the pictures I
It's
have.
the
it
only
is.
beard we come into contact
That makes
with.
sense.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of my Twitter pictures have a really thick beard.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Keep signing them. It makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Just reinforces my positivity. I'm like Tinkerbell. I need positive reinforcement or I'll die.
Immediately. Well, fairies are so small they can only have one feeling at a time. So
Mm-hmm.
Is that
that's
a thing?
actually a part of the
Yeah.
book. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like they're either
Are we doing
entirely
this Peter Pan? Peter
I will
Pan is a
fight you.
pedophile and
No, he's not.
and a kidnapper.
Kidnapper, definitely. There's no arguing the kidnapping charge. Definitely going to jail.
You know what's creepy?
They
is when you
choose to
send somebody
leave.
home and you go, "I'm gonna come back for your granddaughter."
Oh shit.
Oh.
I'm the
No, he doesn't
malcontent.
say that. He says he's gonna come back, and then one time he comes back and her granddaughter's just there. He doesn't say, "I'm coming for your family."
Because I'm gonna want to meet her. Another friends reference.
That it's so funny what they do in that scene because it's all like these really dramatic scenes, and then you see the last scene, and it's like
We're gonna get on this spaceship and go to Blargon 7. And we're gonna come back 400 years from now. We're gonna meet your great granddaughter. Because I'm gonna want to
wanna
meet her.
That makes me think of Twilight when the wolf guy imprints on.
oh
their
my god,
daughter?
Oh
the
my
child.
God.
It's like it's okay because they're both gonna live forever, but he is in love with her now as a 2-year-old.
No,
Talk about
He's
some rapey
20.
eyes.
It's okay because she ages faster and it's all right.
It's
She'll-
not okay, and
He still
nothing
has
about this
rapey
series
eyes.
is okay.
He still
Twilight
has
is
rapey
just
eyes
not
for a
okay.
little baby.
Oh, never.
Nothing
Instead
about
of
Twilight's
Twilight, read Wolf Speaker.
Read anything by Tamora Pierce
By
instead
Tamora
of
Pierce.
anything by Stephanie Meyer.
This is like reading Rainbow. Don't take our word for it.
Read the books.
The more you know.
These actually, and she
Isn't that
didn't
what he
really.
said? It's like, don't take my word for it.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was his thing. Yeah. Don't ruin this
Butterfly
for
in
me.
the
I just remember
sky.
the rainbow thing.
I can
I
fly,
can fly twice as high.
I'm thinking of it
Take
the
a
Between
look.
the Lions.
It's
Read
in
a book. It's reading Rainbow. Yes.
I'm
Between
not
the
trying
Lions
this.
was amazing.
Yes.
And the mouse, that was
What
a mouse.
was that? Wishbone? Traveling dog?
Fuck Wishbone. I hated Wishbone.
Hey, Wishbone was the shit.
Wishbone was stupid as shit. If I want to dress up
Why do you have
my
such a-
dog like Peter Pan, there's something wrong with me.
I should not show you some pictures I took this weekend.
Look, I know we closed out the show like 10 minutes ago.
Oh,
But if
yeah.
you're still listening, I
For
don't know
some
why.
reason.
Swipe right. Thank you.
Free to a good home.